Hello and welcome to Awaken, a space where truth is not only allowed, it is honored. My name is Zainab, and I created this podcast to give voice to the parts of us that have long been silenced, the parts that question, feel deeply, and refuse to live on autopilot. This is a space for emotional honesty, self trust, and growth without performance. Here we talk about the real work, the uncomfortable work, the work that actually changes you. Not just how you survive life, but how you live it with clarity, intention, and peace. If you've ever felt too much, questioned everything, or known deep down that there had to be more than what you were taught to accept, you're in the right place. So let's begin. Now, today's episode is something I talk about all the time. One of the biggest one of the biggest pivots I had in my healing journey was learning to say no and then sticking to that, sticking 10 toes down on that. And saying no with confidence and saying no with true alignment. And because not out of anything other than you are just staying true to you, right? And many people who are like me, who went through that stage, can understand that we used to betray ourselves to a level where we don't know who we are anymore, and we go on on our healing journeys, and we literally rebuild ourselves from the bottom to the top, from the inside out, from every single thing that we lived, we deal with and we sit with and we try to understand, and we go through all of these things in our healing journeys. And you know I'm lucky enough that I kept a journal in every single part of it. And in my journal I talk about it a lot, saying the word no, and sticking to it, and sticking in a way where I'm loving myself now enough where I don't have to do anything to please anyone if I'm not pleasing myself. And that's true. Having true love for yourself is not doing anything that doesn't align with you, with your morals, with your values. It's taking that people pleaser out, and and not caring what people think of you. Always respecting people, always, always, always. Because respect is a given. It's not something you have to earn. Everyone has to respect everyone. And the most important part about saying no is actually sticking to it, right? You can say no and then 3 days down the line, just get back into the pattern, which I've done. I've done. I've done that many times. And that's why I could say, that's why I really could say that it's one pivot to say no. And then it's another pivot to say no and then mean it and understand it and want it, and actually do what you said you're going to do. And like I always use this analogy, it's like pouring gasoline down your throat, literally, when you say no. For someone like me, that was the way it felt. It really did feel like that. It felt like I was a bad person because I was disappointing somebody, or disappointing a situation, or I wasn't accommodating myself for someone else, right? And so that's the part where we need to change that in society, where being good and being um, and never saying no are two of it, and one and the same. When I could be a good person, have good character, have good qualities, have good morals and values, but I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes to everything, though. That doesn't make me a bad person. That just makes me somebody who has boundaries, who sticks to who she is, who has self-trust, who has self-worth, who is extremely in aligned with who she wants to be and what she will accept and what she won't accept. And that has nothing to do with my ego. That has everything to do with my self-respect. Like I said before, how could you respect respect is a given. Respect is something you have to give. You have to every single human walking the planet. Respect is something that doesn't have to be earned. So how could I betray my self-respect to accommodate somebody else's expectations or requirements or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it? So I have to disappoint myself to be accepted in the world. And that's never going to happen for me. I will never be that person. I will walk alone, and I've proven that. I will walk alone for as long as it takes to find my people, to find people that actually understand who I am and love who I am. That's the whole point. Like, you want people to love you for the depth of who you are. And that's the way that I am too. I love to know the little intricate things about somebody's life. Like, and then, I'm somebody that gives very sentimental gifts, or I don't necessarily like to buy gifts. I like to make them. And so that's why I like to know the depth of a person, so I can know what I could put in there, or know a person and show them that I know you enough and I love you enough. Look at what I've learned about you. That's the most beautiful thing ever. And that's the way that I see, like, that's what I want for myself. Those kind of people. And I know those people are very rare, very, you know. And I say that with a dramatic look in my face because it is very rare to find real people, genuine people, kind people, um, people with good character and integrity and honest. You know, my mouth gets me in trouble sometimes because I'm just like, my heart is like that. Whatever I feel, I just say, and I'm learning to kind of be in the right environment to be to say do those things and to whatever. I'm learning to have a little bit of more boundaries around that. But I love that about me because I'm not saying it with an ill intention. I'm saying it in a way where this is me and this is who I am. You either like it or you don't. And I'm okay with both. With both are perfectly fine for me. And that doesn't make me arrogant. That makes me somebody that, honestly, if you don't like me, I'd rather know that straight to my face than know that 10 years down the line you never liked me in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and that's what no taught me. No taught me a lot about people. I lost so much people. I lost everybody in my life, really, other than my family. I lost everybody outside of my family in my life when I started saying no. I'm not even exaggerating that. Everything in my life changed. My job, my friendships, every single friend, my everything. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm reflecting on that. Like, when I learned to say no, I lost everyone. And that was a big hit in my face. That was the biggest punch in my face. That was like, wow, like nobody really loved me for me. That's why I'm not afraid to show who I am anymore. I'm not afraid to be like, this is me, take it or leave it. Because I already thought would, I never thought I would, when I started saying no, that I would be so alone, right? Or be in a place where it's like I was kind of forced by God in some kind of way to really sit with myself and accept myself for who I was and not be afraid to show who I am, to the world. And well, I walk in that, and I walk with pride in that, and I walk with acceptance, and I walk with, I'm still building her, and I'm still becoming her, and I will forever be becoming her, always, for the rest of my life. I will always be becoming her. And because I always want to grow, I never want to stay the same. Nobody should ever stay the same. Your comfort level should always change. It should always elevate. And for me, when I accepted that, I knew that I couldn't take more. A lot of people in my life were going to have to change because I was changing, and I was changing for the better. And I was changing in a way where I was not only stronger, but I was also resilient. I start thinking faster. I'm thinking faster now. I'm making decisions faster. I'm able to open a business by myself. I'm able to learn things on my own. I'm able to be resourceful. You know, not to say that I didn't take hits, because the challenges were hard. And I'm tired. Oh, this is so real. This is a real moment, people. I'm so tired. Like a lot, a lot, a lot. And I don't know. It just feels like you can't stop here. Like I can't stop here. You can't stop in the middle or close to the end to the next chapter. You have to open a brand new chapter and open a brand new you. And I really learned that if saying no to certain things made you lose certain people, or made you lose certain opportunities, or made you lose certain um, anything, made you lose anything in life, then it's not meant for you. It's not for you, right? And I'm not a bad person for saying no. I'm just a true person for saying no. I don't have to put myself first or myself last to be a good person. I don't have to put, I don't have to accommodate my boundaries to make somebody else feel comfortable. I don't have to accept anything in my life that I don't want to accept. And that's not arrogance at all. And that's not bad at all. I'm not a bad person for sticking to what I said I was going to do, because I said I was this person. I never lied about it. I said who I was, and I said what I will accept, and I said what I wouldn't. There's nothing that is about me that's a lie. I will say it out loud. I will say it to anybody. I will say it. Like, I'm not shy about that. I'm shy about other things, but I'm not shy about that. Ugh, I'm not shy about that. And so there's nothing that's really should ever be a secret when it comes to your boundaries, when it comes to how you want to be treated. That's not something that's secretive. This is what I accept for myself. This is the level of love that I have for myself. Are you able to exceed that level of love that I have for myself? That's it. That's self-love. That's having a standard of a certain standard for yourself. I love myself this much, and you want me to have somebody enter my life, whether that's a friendship, a work acquaintance, whatever it is, to enter my life that's going to love me less than that. That doesn't make sense. Now that's crazy. That's somebody who's going to bury themselves, and I was that person. I was that girl. I was that girl that wanted to be accepted so badly that I betrayed myself over and over and over and over again until I had no idea who I was looking at in the mirror. Absolutely no idea. So that's real. That's the truth. Why allow yourself to get to that level? The only people that should be in your life are the people that are loving you more than you love yourself. And if there isn't people like that in your life, then you need to cut them off. What are you wasting your time for? That's the way that I see it. I'd rather be lonely than be in bad company. And I know I won't be lonely forever. It's just a stage. But I'd rather be by myself than be in bad company any day. Any day of the week. That's a waste of time. And I've really been like reflecting on what I want to spend my time on. So anything that's wasting my time, I'm actually naming it as this is wasting my time. So I don't have to go through like actually do it ever again. So that's a waste of time. Bad company is a waste of time. It's just a stressful situation. We don't want to be in stressful situations. We want to be in happy situations. We want to be in thriving situations. We shouldn't accommodate our time and give time to people that are not good for our soul, right? And see, the whole point of a relationship and the whole point of any kind of relationship, whether that's friendship or colleagues or whatever, I keep saying the same thing over, but whatever kind of relationship you have, the whole point of it is for it to be joyful, for it to be add value to something, whether that's laughter, whether that's even sharing a the best conversations are the conversations where you're crying your eyes out 1 second with a girlfriend or with a best friend or whatever. You're literally crying your eyes out on the couch, but then 5 minutes later you're cracking up laughing. Those are really, really, really meaningful friendships. Those are people that are going to make you a better person, because you can fluctuate like that. You can be crying and talk about something that's traumatic in your life, but then crack a joke here, and then you guys are just like laughing and having fun and all this stuff. Like that's a realness in relationships that we're really missing. Or maybe I'm just missing that, and it's just, yeah, it's like everyone's looking out for their status, their prestige, and I'm a type of person, I like to get on my knees and get and get dirty and get like and there's no status when it comes to me. You're a person and I'm a person. Now, do our souls align? That's what I'm looking at. Can we be that person for each other? I'm looking at people when I walk out the door, I'm looking at a person like that's a soul and I'm a soul. Is that person for me? Whether that's friendship, whether that's just saying hello in the street. Like it's really that simple. Like there shouldn't be, oh, I have this and you have that. Like that's so literally, that's like, I swear to God, when I see stuff like that, it makes me so like I don't even care anymore. I don't care. I don't care. But it's just it shouldn't be like that. We all have feelings. We all went through shit in our lives. Excuse my French. We all went through bad experiences. We're all people. I'm not better than anyone, and nobody's better than me. And I don't think that I'm better than anyone because of the standard that I have for myself. I don't want to waste my time. That's it. That's all my boundaries and all of those things have been put in place because I don't want to waste my time. That's it. That's the reason why. If anyone was thinking about what's the reason why, somebody has a boundary or somebody has this or somebody has that, people don't want to waste their time anymore. Especially us women who are getting older and we want something real and we want something meaningful and we want to align with somebody's soul. We don't want to waste our time anymore. you know and I say that very passionately because it's either you know or you don't. Like, make up your mind. It's like you either know or you don't. There's no in between. And it's like, I'm not talking about myself, by the way. I'm talking about in general. Again, I'm general. um I think it, that's why boundaries are such a big thing now, because people just don't want to give their time away anymore. We've done it so much. I've wasted so much of my time. Some people might think I'm still young, but like, I wasted my entire life in the shadows because I couldn't say no. Or I wanted to please that person and please that person and please that person. When all along I had a mind that was like thinking outside of the box, thinking about this, thinking about that, and I never learned how to express it. And that's where my anger came from as a child. That's where my temperament came from. That's where my explosive behavior came from. And I did have explosive behavior. Well, now I'm a little calm. I'm very calm now. One out of 10 times, you see me getting a little bit heightened, but 9 out of 10 times I'm so calm, like really calm. But I also have that time. I have that emotional self care routine. I love to say to any woman that I talk to, you have to, even a man, you have to have an emotional self care routine for when you feel that heightened emotion. When you feel that heightened emotion, what do you do to center yourself without hurting anybody else? You come back to yourself in what way? Now, for me, it's prayer. For me, it's just sitting with myself. For me, it's also just expressing myself in an explosive behavior by myself. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just by myself in my privacy, saying crazy stuff, you know? And that's perfectly fine. Between me and God, And it feels so good. Like I don't have to have a filter. I can say whatever I want to say. And I had that episode this morning, by the way, honestly. And it felt so good. It was like, okay, I let it out. I literally went and prayed. I came back and I got back into my work, got to get back into my kids, got back into my routine. Didn't think twice about it. And now I created a whole episode out of my rant. I swear to God, that was how this episode was created through a rant that I had in the morning. And that's true healing. That's true maturity. Is to take an angry situation that you were feeling, a heightened emotion, and create a teaching moment for the world or for whoever's listening today. I think we should all do that, really. Take our angry moments, jot them down, talk to ChatGPT about it. I do that all the time, by the way. Talk to ChatGPT, oh, ChatGPT about it, and of course, my lips lisp comes back every time like I get nervous and stuff. So it just like pops in here and there. It's so annoying, but talk to ChatGPTs about it, and then um, and create an episode. Like ChatGPTs can do that. That's what she did with me. I swear to God, it is. It's. Can you imagine the amount of lessons that we would have if people actually wrote down their anger or express their anger in a way that's transcribing it, and then you look back at it and you're able to reflect in real time. And that's all of my work, people. Like that was my journals for me. This was before chat gpts. I swear. That was all of my work, was literally years and years and years of me going through my journals and going through them all and taking little bits and pieces, like, wow, look at where my mind was at over here, look at where my mind was at here. And that's how I learned the timeline, my own timeline, through real journal entries in real forms of expression, in real insights, in real intuition pieces, and me not following my instincts and learning the hard way why. That's why I will never do that again. Boundaries are not a punishment. Boundaries are how a person protects themselves. And anyone who loves you is going to love your boundaries too. Promise. I promise. If you're saying I'm protecting myself in this way and somebody gets mad about that, that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. That is absolutely not a you problem. So with that being said, I really love this episode, and it really brings it brings clarity to something that's so important. Saying no. Saying no to access to you. Access is not a right. It's an exchange of respect. Respect is consideration. Respect is honesty. Respect is communication. Respect is clarity. Without communication, there's no respect. Without respect, there's no access. Respect is given. That's the baseline to humanity. Trust is built, and access is earned when trust is built. Not out of difficulty, out of protection, and out of safety. Safety doesn't come from rushing. It comes from time, conversation, consistency, answered questions, and aligned intentions. That's how trust forms in friendships, marriages, workplaces, and leadership. People confuse self respect with ego, but ego is believing someone else should betray themselves so you can stay comfortable. Self respect is refusing to do that. And honestly, the older you get, the less you want to waste your time. Grown people want to get the good stuff. They want to get to that part of a relationship where it starts getting good. You start to know somebody. You start to know what they like for breakfast. You start to know what they like in certain aspects of their life. Just getting things ready for them, or um, doing something loving for them, or knowing all of those little things. Like getting to that point. Like why is there even an inkling that there should be games being played, or somebody wasting somebody else's time in some kind of way? That shouldn't be somebody's intention for you, and you shouldn't accept that for yourself. I never will. It's so important to have that boundary set for yourself. But I don't want to waste my time. I want to get to the good stuff in life. I want to get to the good stuff. And you're wasting my time with that, with bullshit. Excuse my French. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking in general. For you, I'm talking for you. Okay? So, a loving relationship, a loving partner, a loving spouse, a loving friendship, a loving family, anyone is going to love you for you. And you have to be healthy enough to see what's real love and what's not real love. And the only way you will see if it's healthy love or not untoxic love is if you do the healing work and you become the healed person, because you will spot it a mile away. Trust me. And so, with that being said, love people for their soul, not for what they could do for you. And want people in your life that will actually bring out the best in you, the absolute best. Not dig you deeper into survival. Find friends that you can sit with on the couch and cry your eyes out, and then they crack a joke and make you laugh. Like, I love a funny friend. I love people that are funny. And so it's just having, like, have real true connection, rich connection. It's something I always talk about. Real true richness is being rich with connection, rich with real people. That's real love. And that's the only, I will be lonely for the rest of my life. I will never accommodate that. I will never accommodate my time of feeling that connection with someone, with something that's temporary. I won't do that to myself or to that person or to anyone or to a friendship or to whatever. I'll just cut it off. It's not out of arrogance. It's out of, I don't want to waste my time anymore. And I have a right to do that. I deserve to do that for myself. I deserve that. So, with that being said, no doesn't mean that you're a bad person. No just means you love yourself enough to hold a boundary and to hold your self respect and to care enough about your soul that you're not going to betray your morals and values. To accommodate anyone is comfortability. So I'm going to love you and thank you for joining me today. And I hope to see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.